project labor agreement, the building agreement is a big issue on that. We've made clear to the university and to the developers in that project that we want a project labor agreement, no project labor agreement, no project. University understands this. I think the developer understands that. That I don't think is really the holdup. The holdup, I think, with the economy. I think this was a project that was approved at a much larger scale with financing, both in terms of the university was receiving from the developer. So, frankly, there probably needs to be some restructuring of it so it's done on a more modest scale in phases, and maybe even a restructuring of the business deal. That ultimately be up to the university and the developer, or what the developer wants to stay in the project. But however it's done, and from the perspective of being in the project labor agreement, this may not be a bad thing. We're sort of back to square one. It will have to include project labor agreement. The good news there is we'll probably get one. The bad news is that the project won't be as massive as originally contemplated, but that's a function of the economy rather than of any particular policy of the university or the developer. So I did a pretty quick run through on all those issues. I am sincere when I say that I do think this administration and building trades are friends. As I said, friends don't always agree. Actually, we probably don't necessarily disagree on a lot of the labor policies involved in issues today. But keep in mind, we have issues other than the ones you're focused on. And that's not to denigrate your position. You should be focused on your interests. You should be focused on jobs, and you should be holding our feet to the fire on it. Everybody else does. So you should as well. Having said that, all I'd ask is while you're doing that, understand that it's not as easy as just doing what you ask. That we have other factors that have to be taken into consideration, other issues, and that we do try to manage all of these issues and expectations to get a good result, not just for labor, but for Maryland as a whole, but not to exclude, one that doesn't exclude the interests of labor as well. And in that regard, Rod is right. On these issues, to the extent you want to or willing to, I'm willing to arrange with the governor, arrange with members of the administration, any and all meetings for discussions which are appropriate. Obviously, some of the regulatory things that I've been upfront about this, right? Whether it's the applicant or you or anyone else, there's some regulatory aspects that you shouldn't interfere with because that's the nature of that process. It's quite a regulatory process. It's on the record and should be treated as such. But other than that, on some of the other issues, whatever we can do to keep the lines of communication open and to accomplish our mutual goals of greater use of union labor in construction projects throughout Maryland, we're happy to do it. With that, let me stop and listen for a little bit and see if there's any questions.
Mr. Secretary, I appreciate you coming down. I'm Kendall Martin, business manager for Iron Working Local 5. I guess I've just got a few simple questions. In your statement, you said that the governor was for this project.
Which one? Tell me up.
For the County Cliffs.
Yeah.
And
For the expansion, right?
yeah, for the expansion, and they've also put it out. Hopefully, he trusts in what the Public Service Commission is doing to reach a.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, and
I don't need much doubt about that.
okay, and my question is why isn't he advocating some of those positive things about this project rather than constantly putting things in the newspaper and media and things that are opposing this project? Because what we hear, we don't hear anything. We hear from guys like you. We don't hear. He doesn't put that stuff out in the public that he's for this project. Only thing he talks about is this thing that keeps going back and forth between him, and it's basically it boils down to mail, and
No, in fairness, that's if you first of all, I want to clarify. the employee compensation is not really an issue for the Public Service Commission. You know, in terms of the settlement agreements that have been discussed, that has been an issue discussed. Beyond.
It's not a decision of the Public Service Commission has authority to rule on this. Yes. Second of all, Constellation is a public company. The deal that was struck in 1999, deregulation, made all the power plants deregulated, merchant plants, public company, not subject to regulation by the Public Service Commission. Only Baltimore gas and electric rates are set by the Public Service Commission. Also, a year ago, Constellation made a deal with the Public Service Commission in which we paid over $200 million to the state. And the deal that was struck was that the Public Service Commission would not have jurisdiction unless 20% of Constellation stock was going to be sold to another party. This deal represents only 9% of the company's stock. Lastly, the salary of Mayo Shattuck or any executive of Constellation is a matter for the shareholders, not for the Public Service Commission or the government. Just as the state or the government or Public Service Commission doesn't negotiate their collective bargaining agreement. So I just wanted to make that clarification.
Well, you know, some of it, actually, I stated that. The last point I thought I stated, you know, that wasn't my point. My point was that when Constellation proposed broad range settlement, the governor would have to sign off on. The governor had concerns. The alternative to Constellation, which they're availing themselves of as we speak, is to seek approval for the Public Service Commission. To some extent, you know, I appreciate the rebuttal, but the fact of the matter is, in fact, Constellation is seeking Public Service Commission approval.
And, I'm sorry,
Sure.
Johnny. If you get an overwhelming majority of response in this Public Service Commission of the people that are for it, at what point, I mean, what would the position of the governor be at that point?
It's not plebiscite, you know, and that's an important issue because in regulatory law, the mere fact that you have large numbers who feel about something one way or the other really doesn't go to the issue. It goes to what the charge of the commission is in terms of protection under the statute. The charge here is to protect rate payers and consumers in the general public. And
they're also responsible for protecting the company as well.
you know, well, that does go to the issue of the general public consumers, financial health of it.
Right.
Those are the determinations that will be made by the Public Service Commission. It really won't be based on, you know, how many do we have for or against. That's not to say if you have important issues that go to the heart of what the commissions and to the extent that how this affects you all as part of the public is important. I urge you to testify before the Public Service Commission, and the Public Service Commission needs to hear from all parties in making their decisions. That has been our position from day one, is that we believe this transaction requires approval by the Public Service Commission. Yeah, ma'am.
John, of course, you know, that would be permitted, legislation. My couple things here. With the Public Service Commission, I don't know the exact time, but maybe 7 months, 6 months ago, when we had gone through all the hearings and we'd done everything, there was
On the certificate of need?
right.
Yeah.
We accomplished that. Then they had the 30 days to rebut. So at that point, if that's what I'm talking about, was Dave Dunphy in here?
Yeah.
Right here.
That was the first part. That was the state approval on it. and-
Certificate of need.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, common necessity, and that part was approved. This part now is the Public Service Commission has determined that the merger could impact BG&E ratepayers. And, you know, it is saying, and they have an obligation, but at the same time, Constellation sold how much of its, you know, assets